Hi everybody, Dawn here from Select Health. I teach at the Fit Zone. I'm planning on teaching a couple of recorded yoga classes for the next couple of weeks at least, or however long this shutdown continues. But hopefully everything seems clear on these videos. If you do have any questions or any feedback, feel free to pass it along to Cami. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope this provides you with a little bit of stress relief over these next few weeks as we, try to figure out this health stuff. And for us today, this was earthquake day, so it gives you an idea of when I'm filming it. So hopefully everybody was safe through the earthquake. So anyway, having yoga blocks if you have them, but if not, a chair, a stool, a stack of books, anything like that will be useful. Having some sort of pillow. I have a yoga bolster back here. That's what I have to use, but you can really use whatever you have available. It could be your pillow from your bed. If you're at home, then hey, that works great. And then the other thing that you can have is a strap, and again, it can be a yoga strap, so that's pretty long. You don't have to have one as long as me. Or it could be a belt or a towel. So those are the basic things we'll use. This is about a half-hour long class. Let me just double check my time so that I don't go over. It's what my own recording equipment can do. So take a good seat, and if that means sitting up on something like a block or a pillow, then go ahead and use that, as that's a good way to just allow your hips to be a little bit elevated and your pelvis to tilt a little bit, your belly drawing forward. So as you let your hands rest down, lift up and back through your shoulders. Let your eyes close. And take just a moment to take a full breath in and out of your nose, starting to sense where your breath can go. Set a personal intention for yourself for right now, for today, for however long you need. And that intention can be something like cultivating compassion, or showing gratitude, or finding joy in the little things. Connect palms together at heart center, honoring yourself for taking this time in the middle of your day, or wherever or whenever you happen to be doing this, to tune in, check in. Take an inhale and lengthen up from your tail to the crown of your head. Exhale, bow toward your heart. Then softly opening your eyes, release your hands down. And again, draw shoulders up and back. Lengthen up through the back of your neck. And then turn your head over to the right side and tuck your chin down. Draw your left shoulder blade further onto your back, and then take a few rolls with just your left shoulder. Then inhale back into center and exhale over to the left side. Tuck your chin down and then give your right shoulder a few moves back. Inhale back into center. Reaching both arms up overhead, take just a moment here to move a little bit through your sides, a little side to side movement, reaching one hand up a little further and then the other hand up a little bit further. And then come back into center, take a hold of opposite elbows over your head and stretch over to the left side. Turning your right shoulder a little further upward, draw your right shoulder blade onto your back. Then inhale back up to center and exhale over to the right side. Left shoulder, left elbow moves a little further up and your shoulder blade moves onto your back. Inhale back up to center. Now switch the cross with your arms and lift up high through both sides. Then draw shoulder blades both onto your back. Good. Releasing arms down. Take a big full breath with your hands, just resting right up against your legs, and lift up and back through your shoulders. Good. Then work fingertips to the floor behind you and press down. And as you push down, start to lift up and open through your heart space, lifting your chest. And then from there, you can add a little movement with your head and your neck here if that feels good, or you can stay stationary. But feel shoulder blades start to engage. Feel a little length through your front body. And then inhale, rise back up. Shift forward onto hands and knees. And from hands and knees, set yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. I'm trying to move back enough so you can see most of me. And then push hands into the ground. Push toes into the ground and then sway your hips side to side. And as you sway your hips side to side, checking in with the outside edges of your legs, notice any tension, any stiffness that's showing up with IT bands, with any of the external glutes and hip flexor muscles. Then back into center. Take an exhale and round your spine upward into a cat-like pose. Inhale, draw your belly toward the ground, draw shoulder blades toward each other. Exhale, round upward through your spine. Inhale, again, belly toward the ground. Good, this time, exhale, round upward into your cat-like pose, and then sway hips and shoulders side to side. Inhale, belly toward the ground, and again, sway hips and shoulders side to side. Then coming back to a neutral place for your spine, push your hands into the ground and think of broadening just a little bit through your upper back. Then start to move through one leg at a time. Using your breath, you'll inhale and reach your right leg back behind you. Exhale, release your knee to the ground. Inhale, left leg back behind you. And exhale, knee to the ground. And move through a couple more of these on each side with your own breath at your own pace. Then coming back to a neutral place for your spine, let's bring right foot forward in between your hands. You can rise up onto a block. You can use a stool, a stack of books, whatever you would like, or fingers on the floor if you'd like to, if that feels good to you. Then work your back knee back as far as you need, getting a little longer stretch through your back thigh. From here, a little hug with your leg muscles, and inhale, stretch up overhead. Take a couple big breaths and just move around a tiny bit and notice for yourself what is going on. How do your hips feel? Maybe how do your shoulders feel, or your neck? Just notice for yourself as you do little bits of movement. Then on your exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. Work your hands to the inside, to the left side of your right foot. Okay, and from here you can heel toe your front foot out to the right side if that feels good, or you can keep it right close. Find where it feels the best to you, but then extend through your heart. Maybe adjust your back knee and then work down as low as your body needs to go. Elbows on blocks, elbows on the floor, stay up on hands, whatever feels the best, because hips, as we start to get into them, they tend to be pretty intense. So notice the intensity and go to the place that's right for you. Full big breath here, which also helps you to work through the intensity. Good, then inhale, rise back up to your hands. If you had walked your foot out, walk it back in, okay? And then your back knee, you're gonna turn so that you have your back knee back behind you a little bit, but your back leg is angled so that your toes are off to the right. Your hand on a block, or you can always bring your elbow to your knee on that right side, but then bring your left hand to your hip and start to turn your belly and your heart open to the left. Shoulder blades on your back. If it feels really good, you can stretch your left arm to the sky or over your ear for a long side body stretch. Take a deep breath. Exhaling, both hands come down to the front of your mat and step all the way back onto your hands and knees. And just take a moment to reset yourself. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Take a big inhale, belly releases toward the ground. Big exhale, round your spine upward. Inhale to your neutral spine, and then step left foot forward in between your hands. And again, blocks under your hands if you want. I have some shorter arms myself, and so blocks are often handy. So it doesn't really matter if you can reach the ground. Do what feels good, okay? So now as you work your back knee back for a little longer stretch through your back thigh, start to hug in with the muscles of your legs. And then inhale, stretch up. And as you stretch up again, add a little bit of movement. Backing out of the pose a little bit, coming back into it. Allowing a little movement through your shoulders, maybe your head and your neck. Checking in, noticing what's going on. That's what yoga is all about, is taking that time to check in with yourself here and now. Good. Exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. Then work your hands to the inside. Heel toe your front foot open if you want to. You don't have to. You can keep it in close if that feels better. Work your back knee back again if that feels the best, and then work down toward one elbow, maybe two. This is called alligator or lizard pose. We're not symmetrical beings, so how this side looks might feel different. That's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. So take some big, full, deep breaths. I'm going to check the time and make sure I'm not going too far or too long. There we go. We'll find the right word eventually. Take a big, deep inhale and exhale. Then inhale, rise back up to your hands, heel toe your front foot in if you moved it out. And then you're going to set your left hand inside your leg on a block, or you can always come up to your elbow on your knee here. And then turn your back leg so that your right toes are aimed off to the left side. Start to turn your belly and your heart to the left, taking a little bit of a twist here, a little opposite direction of how we often twist. Then if it feels good, you can stretch top arm to the sky or over your ear, your choice. Take a deep breath. Both shoulder blades are engaging on your back here. Good. On your exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat, and then you're setting yourself up on hands and knees. And from hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, find a broadening through your upper arm bones, so you're turning your elbow pits a little forward. Keep that and lift your hips up and back into a downward facing dog. And then bend gently through one knee at a time. And then take some steps forward. And if you find that it gets harder to reach the floor, you can always set blocks underneath your hands here to make your way to a forward fold at the front of your mat. Take an inhale and lengthen part way, bringing your hands above your knees, bend your knees, and push back with your sitting bones. Good. Take a full big breath here, just allowing some length to happen. Then walk your hands up your legs, rise all the way up to stand. Ooh, and I will back up, hopefully, to find where I'm fully in the picture. Sorry about that, you guys. Go ahead and find your balance onto your right knee. And then bring your left knee into your hand. Good, flex your foot, and then open your knee up to the side. Good, lift your chest, lift your heart up high, take a full big breath. If at any point you need to reach out for a wall, you can always do that. Inhale, come back into center. And exhale, put your foot back on the ground. And then find your balance onto your left foot, right knee into your hand, and then open up your knee to the side. Again, if you want, you can always reach your hand out to a wall here. Good. One more big breath. Lift your chest, lift your heart up high. Inhale, come back into center. And exhale, foot back to the ground. Good. Now feet inner hip bone distance apart and parallel. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, knees bend to fold over your legs. Plant your fingertips. I'm going to walk my way back to the front of my mat. But you guys get to step right foot back into your lunge. Turn and plant your back heel. And then inhale, rise up to face the right side in your warrior two. Arms reach. Take a full big breath. Good. As you open up with that front knee, thinking of aiming knee toward pinky toe edge of your foot, lift up higher, maybe settle a little deeper into your front knee. Next exhale, elbow comes to your front knee, top arm reaches over your ear. So this is a little bit different variation of the pose that we did on our knees. Take a big deep breath as you turn open with your torso, bend deeper into your front knee. Exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. Tuck your back toes and step forward. Next exhale, step your left foot back into your lunge. Turn and plant your back heel. And then inhale, rise up into your warrior two facing the left side. Opening your front knee up and bending in. Lift your ribs and your heart up high. Take a full big breath. On your exhale, elbow to your front knee. Top arm reaches, and it can be straight up or over your ear, whichever feels the best. Turn your belly more open. Bend deeper in. Full big breath. Good. Next exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. You're tucking your back toes and then bringing your back knee to the ground and then both knees to the ground. Settle back, hips to heels into a child's pose. In your child's pose, let your breath happen evenly in and out of your nose. Then gently push yourself up to your seat. And then as you settle all the way down onto your sitting bones, bring soles of feet together into a butterfly. And then find your pillow, whatever pillow you happen to have. You're going to bring your pillow back behind you for a moment. If you happen to have a yoga one, then it'll be a long bolster, and you're going to set that the length of your spine. But for now, butterfly. Soles of feet together, knees open wide. Take a hold of your strap or whatever you happen to be using. And set your strap underneath your feet just so that you have something to hold on to. Then holding onto the strap, lift your chest up high, your heart up high. Take a big, full, big, deep breath. And if you want to, you can close your eyes. Long all the way down from your low back. Think of even letting your belly tilt forward, your low back tilt forward and up. Okay? From here, if it feels good, you can start to fold forward. Maybe you take your elbows down to your calf muscles. Maybe you release the strap and walk your hands forward. It's entirely up to you, but mostly think about a long, not collapsed spine. Full deep breath. Then inhale, gently rise it all the way back up to center. Take your strap off of your feet and then lengthen your legs out long in front of you. And again, I apologize if you can't see me entirely. I'm going to back up a little bit. There we go. Okay. So strap around the balls of your feet. And that helps you remember to flex your feet. That makes the backs of your knees or backs of your legs long. But now press down with your heels so that your knees lift a little bit. So I don't want any hyperextending. Okay, trying to preserve the knees for as long as possible, right? So now holding onto the strap, use the strap to help you sit taller. So hold on to it, even hug your elbows in by your sides, and then lift up through your chest. From right here, you can stay where you are or staying long through your spine, not rounding, but staying lifted. Maybe hinge from your hips, walk your hands down the strap, come to where it is that feels the best to your body. Maybe that's taking a hold of your feet. Maybe that's hands coming to the floor, okay? Find where that is for you and take a big, deep breath. Then inhale, gently rise back up. You can set the strap aside. And now we're going to lay over our bolster so that our chest can open. And if you have pillows or even a rolled up blanket, that works too. You're going to lay over the bolster or blanket or pillows. Maybe bring soles of feet together into your butterfly with blocks or books underneath your knees. Letting arms open if that feels okay to your shoulders. Sometimes that's a really intense place, especially if your bolster or pillow is really big. So just notice for yourself and then make the conscious choice to shift. Maybe you shift your legs further out. Maybe you bring your hands by your sides. Find what feels the best to your body. You're welcome to let your eyes close here if you would like. About 5 more deep breaths. Then gently bring knees upright and roll at least part way over to one side to make it really gentle to rise back up. And then set your bolster aside and then you're going to come all the way back down onto your back. And from here we're going to take a couple spinal twists. So make sure that you have bolster or block or something to set over to a pillow, even over to the right side. Pick your knees up toward your chest. Set a block in between them or a pillow in between them, and then let your legs drop over to the right side onto your prop. Open arms up to a T if that feels good, and take 5 big breaths. Then inhale, bring your legs back up to center, and then you're going to switch your prop over to the left side. And then take your knees with your block in between or your pillow in between over to the left. Again, arms open wide if that feels good, and take a couple big breaths. Inhale, come back up to center with your legs. Take your block out from in between your knees. And then you're going to set footprints on the floor. Take your feet wider than your mat. And drop knees slowly side to side. Both knees to the right, both knees to the left. As many of you know, this is one of my favorite spinal and nervous system clearing poses. And then begin to set yourself up really well, really comfortable in a resting pose. So that might mean bringing a block, or rather a bolster or pillows underneath your legs. Maybe that's setting a blanket over the top of you. But start to find the place where your body can rest easily for a couple of minutes, letting yourself simply breathe and take in any sensations that are present. As you rest here, just recognize that sometimes the body starts to feel uncomfortable in places. So feel free to adjust, to shift, to make yourself a little more comfortable for another minute in time. And begin to deepen your breath. Start to add movement through your fingers and through your toes. Slowly bend your knees and roll over to one side. You can prop yourself with your elbow or your hand. Take a full breath on your side. And then gently push yourself up to your seat. And from your seat, take a hand to your belly and a hand to your heart. And as you take a full breath, just recognize and notice any shifts that have happened in your body and your mind. Then palms together at your heart and bow toward your heart, honoring yourself for taking this time. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.